Hey everybody, it's me, Brandon, again with two dads having a beer. Welcome back. This is the podcast where fatherhood meets entrepreneurship, and the only thing crying is probably going to be me if I happen to spill my beer. I'm your host, Brandon Labonte, and let me tell you, being a dad is an absolute adventure. From starting your own company to holding a podcast. You know, the best thing about having your own family is that, and having your own company is that the product, my children, the only thing they need are snacks, while my company needs me to work in it. So that's why every week I invite a new guest dad to join me on this awesome dad adventure. Somebody else who is crushing it, not only in business, but they're also crushing it on the home front and in fatherhood. And we love to just talk about those things and crack open a cold beer, share some war stories, and maybe even learn a thing or two about each other. And this week's guest, I get to have the honor of speaking with a friend of mine who is in my office on the 9 to 5 on a regular basis, but he also is a TikTok viral star, over 24,000 followers. And he is AC Guy 91. His name is Marcus Acevedo. And let's just jump right into it. Welcome to Two Dads Having a Beer. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Marcus Acevedo, who's been doing it for about 8 years, maybe a little bit more. He's gone from the trenches of duct cleaning all the way to a production manager, and he has so much influence when it comes to HVAC knowledge and education for his listeners and for his viewers. It's fantastic. He's actually still on the job right now, and he told me that he's not going to be able to be on the show through camera because he's driving, and because he's driving, he can't have a beer. So I've gone ahead and opened up two, one for me and one for him. Welcome everybody to Two Dads Having a Beer. Hey Marcus, how you been, man?
Super happy to finally connect.
Yeah, this is really great. Listen, just total transparency. We've been talking for about 16 minutes, and my laptop never recorded the initial part of this, so that's good. That's one of those, hey, you learn something in the podcast world. Have you ever had those issues when you're out there doing a TikTok, like, man, I just freaking killed it, and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't even record it.
I'll be honest, my biggest problem with the TikTok man is I'm super tech savvy with an AC unit. With a cell phone, I'm a dinosaur. And I don't know how to edit. So there's a lot of times that I have an entire video, and it's 3 minutes long, just about to end it, and I screw up one of them. I see something dumb, or hit the button, or don't record, and I don't know how to correct that and keep moving. So I end up having to erase the entire video. I'll tell you that's happened a lot of times.
That is freaking frustrating. I can imagine, because it just happened to us momentarily. So let me tell everybody out there what we're drinking today, and maybe you can pretend that you're drinking it along with me. But it is a brewed in Gainesville. Dude, I actually know that. I've been to this brewery like 100 times. This is First Magnitude. It is the Honeybee Citrus Blonde, right? This is a fantastic blonde ale brewed with honey and orange zest. And I'm telling you right now, Marcus, this thing is freaking tasty. So good. I love it cold. I'm going to drink yours right now.
Oh, I appreciate that. I've got a cold bottle of water here. I'm watching time and saving my cup all day. So I'm drinking with you in spirit, brother.
I appreciate that. You know, one of the requirements is that, you know, we're both dads, and that we both have a beer. And so I knew that you weren't going to be able to be on live with me today in a safe place. So I decided that I was going to drink that beer for you.
That's right. As long as you're double fisting for me, brother, I totally appreciate it. 12-ounce curls with each hand.
Yes, let me try that. No, I can't. I'm going to mess it up.
That's right. Don't do that.
So, hey, listen, tell me a little bit about how you became a dad, how old your kids are, what their names are. I think I just saw a video recently of you and the Wild Ones, or the Wild Girls.
Yes, the Wild Girls. So that's a little funny thing that we do. Anytime I take them to the park, or I take them anywhere fishing, I take them out on the boat a lot. I always take out my phone and I film these moments, not only for memories and fun, but I pride myself on being the fun dad. growing up, I kind of had the same thing. And it's a big thing for me. I want to be the fun dad. So I always take these videos of my kids, and they call themselves the Wild Girl. I'll tell you where that came from. They go in my backyard, and then they touch a branch, and now they're Wild Girls. Because my girls, I'll be honest, they're very dainty. They're just like their mom. They like perfume, pretty dresses. They like their hair done, their nails done. I have girly girls. When they touch a piece of bark, they are now outdoor wild girls.
So let me give you an idea for all you guys listening and watching this show right now. I was over their house recently, and for all you guys who don't know, I also own a lawn care company, and Marcus is actually one of my clients. But I was there, and they were on a cruise, enjoying themselves. Lucky them, they get to go on a cruise, just husband and wife, right? And I'm sure that they had the drink package.
You know it.
So I'm there, and I'm pulling my stuff out, and your middle child was being asked to throw something away in the recycling bin that you have outside with the lift top. And if you're watching this, she was petrified to touch it because it was dirty. And your mother-in-law was like, just open the top, just open the top. It was one of the funniest things in the world. She was so fast to throw it in there. So you're right, man. I think they are very prissy, but the Wild Girls, that is a really, really fun thing to record. And I was watching it, and I was giggling and laughing, and I was like, man, Marcus has really got himself one heck of a family. And so congratulations for having 3 girls. Tell me, what's that like?
It's interesting. I'll tell you. So my name's Marcus. I'm named after my grandfather. His name is Mark. And my grandfather actually had 4 girls, right? And I have a brother and a sister, and I have several step brothers and step siblings as well. All of my siblings have boys. And I'm the only one that had 3 girls back to back to back. Coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
Named after my grandfather. So it's interesting. It's a blessing, and I'll tell you one thing that I do. I was 23 when I had my first daughter. So my oldest daughter, her name is Marcella. She's 9 years old. My middle daughter, her name is Maya. She is 6 years old. And my youngest daughter, her name is Macy. She is 5 years old. So I'll tell you, when I had my first daughter, I was 23 years old. I was working as a warehouse manager at a furniture company, and my job was to the salesman would sell some furniture, and I would run to this hot warehouse, and I would sweat myself like a sweatshop trying to build all this furniture in time and deliver it. That was my job. I was getting paid $12 an hour. I was working 6 days a week, many hours. And when I had my first daughter, it kind of put me in a mind state of I want to do more. Naturally, as a dad, you want to be a provider.
Yeah.
You want to provide for your family, your wife, your kids, and I'll never forget the day at the hospital when my daughter came out. They wrapped her up, and they handed her to me for the first time. She looked up at me with these bright blue eyes. It mesmerized me. I really don't know how to explain that feeling, but it made me jump into overdrive. And I can honestly say I blame my kids for the man that I am today.
Wow. You know what? That's actually an amazing feeling that a lot of dads have, but you are able to articulate it in such a way that, I think that a lot of our listeners and watchers can actually kind of, it resonates with them. Because I remember when my daughter was born, my first daughter, and the hard part for me was I wasn't there. I was actually in the military, and I was in AIT, so the second half of basic training, right? And they would not let me leave that training environment to go see the birth of my child, right? And it was a devastating loss for me. And so from that position, I said to myself, I will never, ever miss an opportunity like that again. And I still regret that to this day. So, and so that sentiment of like holding your child for the first time, like you were mentioning earlier, looking into their eyes, and I don't know how your daughter's eyes were so blue, because they are blue now, but usually when babies are born, they're like this blob of like, they will be something in a couple days, It's
bright, vibrant blue. I'm sorry, green. And everyone in her family has light-colored eyes. What's funny is I'm the only person in my family with light brown eyes. Everyone in my family has very dark brown, darkish, blackish looking eyes. I actually have very light colored eyes. And when me and my wife meshed together and made a kid, all of our kids have extremely light colored green eyes.
Unbelievable. And I've met your children. I've also seen the pictures of your last cruise that you took them along with you, God forbid, right? And absolutely right, man. Your kids are beautiful. Their eyes are absolutely astonishing. And to be honest, Marcus, your eyes are astonishing too.
It means a lot to me. I don't have to have spirit to appreciate that. I definitely appreciate it. Next time I see you in the office staring at it too long, I'm gonna know why.
Yeah, there's a reason. I'm just trying to figure it out. That's all. So, anyways, listen. One of the things that I mentioned early on is that you are a viral TikToker, right? And so, and it doesn't start off quickly, and it certainly is something that I aspire to be. I want to be like you, man. But your tag is at ACGuy91, and you have about 25,000 followers. And you create videos that are specifically tailored to air conditioning and HVAC troubleshooting and problems, and even funny ones like you're stuck in attics and you're like, I'm gonna die in here. So tell me a little bit about why you decided to utilize TikTok as a platform to share your business or your trade.
So I'll start by saying I always looked at TikTok as a kid. Right? I always see these kids, post, like I either see it on Facebook or see kids setting up their phones in public and doing these wild things, these challenges. So I would tell myself, I'm not going to do that. As a kid, I'm not going to do it, right? But one day, I posted a video on Facebook of me. It wasn't even an HVAC video. It was just a funny video. I found some filter on Snapchat.
Right.
And I posted it on Facebook. I actually got a lot of good feedback on it. So one night, deep in my bathroom, so no one would know. And I didn't download it with the idea of making videos. I downloaded it just to kind of scroll and look at videos. And I typed in HVAC in the search bar, and I watched all these guys online doing HVAC videos, learning how units work or what they're doing on the day. And one thing I noticed that almost every video left was a true explanation of what they were doing. A lot of these videos are guys explaining things in ways like they're talking to somebody that already knows. Like, hey, you're going to walk in here, you're going to take this contactor out, you're going to wire it like this, power's going to come up top, you're going to power your components. You got to understand, there's a lot of guys in the field that don't understand that yet. I remember being that guy.
Right.
That would teach me things, but he would always talk to me like I knew what he was talking about. And I had no idea. But, as the tradesman and a helper, you always want to seem top notch, the best you can. You don't want to seem like you don't know. And I started out making videos, really breaking things down and teaching people the simple approach to approach even the most difficult things. So you may not actually know what the component is or what the unit's doing or what it's not doing, but it's all about the simple approach. So, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a unit and it's not doing what it's supposed to do, but immediately. But I'm like, okay, let's start simple. It's an AC unit. It needs power. Does it have power? All right, confirm that. Now let's move to the next. Let's keep it simple until one day you're going to be a seasoned enough technician to walk up and just hear a unit and know what it's doing. And so I pride myself on that. And another thing, man, that I'll throw in, where I went viral was I posted a video. One of my friends had I was in an attic. It had nothing to do with HVAC. I was fixing an exhaust fan on a house, right? And I'm up there, and I got so deep in this attic that I couldn't turn around. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? But,
you were spelunking. You ever heard of spelunking? Like you were literally cave diving in somebody's attic. That's awesome.
And I was a good 50 feet to this guy's attic, and I got so tight into a crevice I couldn't turn around. And I pulled out my phone to send my wife a video to show her what I was doing because, I don't know if she really knows what I'm doing. Come home and say, oh, stop it. But I pulled out my phone, I took a video, and I'm looking at the video, and I'm dripping sweat. I'm like red and glazy. I'm probably like on the way to like dying.
Right.
Here I am taking a video of my death. And I take that video and I send it to my wife, and I don't know why. I decided to save it, and I posted that moment on my TikTok. And I didn't think anything of it. It's 9 o'clock at night. I posted it. The next morning, I woke up with 200,000 views on that video. I was dumbfounded. I went
Wow.
to bed with 200 followers and woke up with 2,000.
Wow.
Holy crap. So people like to watch you almost die.
I think
That's really what it is.
I think you're onto something.
That's what it is.
That is absolutely amazing. And so I know that you have, 24 plus thousand viewers, and everybody can find you at AC Guy 91, right? And so one of the things that you promote, and you do this quite frequently, is you help the viewer understand. And I love that about air conditioning, right? Because like you were saying earlier, I mean, we have a medium, right, that shows a video. So you may not have to know the name of a part, but you can see it and you can say, yeah, that's the thing that's not working in my unit either, right? And so, and you kind of break it down in such a manner that it's easy for them to comprehend. It's easy for them to then take that information and then apply it. And so has that been your structure for your TikTok videos?
It's my structure, man. And so my thing is, man, one thing I've seen in the trade is HVAC, electrical work, plumbing work. It's a trade. Obviously, we make money by knowing how to fix the equipment that you can't fix, right? But there's also a lot of simplicity to a lot of repairs that even a simple homeowner can do. So a lot of my videos are towards technicians that are new in the trade. They have no idea what they're looking at. They've never seen it before. But it's also geared towards your everyday homeowner that can go to Home Depot, grab a screwdriver and a $10 multimeter, and go to one of my videos and actually save money, time, and frustration by fixing their own unit. And I mean, I'm very big on sharing knowledge. I feel like I can share my knowledge. A lot of guys are like, if I teach you how to do it, you're not going to pay me. For me, Brandon, it's not about the money. It's about sharing knowledge. Knowledge is wealth. And my big thing is I want everybody to know as much as they can. That's my thing. And even when I go do jobs now, a contractor standing there, a homeowner standing there, if anybody listening to this is in the trade, we know that one thing we can't stand is a homeowner or somebody standing there staring at you as you work. Naturally, it makes you either antsy, it makes you nervous, or you don't know if they're judging you or whatever it may be. We have this thing where we don't like to watch. And I'll tell you, I'm the total opposite. I will invite the homeowner out. I will set them in a chair. I'll make them a nice cold lemonade. I'll sit them down, and I will go to work, and I'll explain every single thing that I'm doing. And so many people appreciate my transparency. And it's not so much about being transparent. It's that I, one, I talk a lot. Two, I enjoy to teach. And if you show me that you're interested in what I'm doing, I will take you on the ride and show you anything you want.
So I really think that that's one of the things that we've lost in society and in the home, right? Is the ability to care so much about somebody else's learning curve, so to speak, that we take the time to explain things to them so that they feel more comfortable whether or not they want to do it. They're there because, hey, listen, value is in perception, right? And if you just disappear into the attic, right, and they don't see you for 2 hours and they come back down, the value is where? In the fact that they got cold air? No, because they can call anybody to get cold air. The value is in the fact that you have just built a relationship with somebody by offering information to them that they so desperately wanted to have, on top of their AC being cold, or their lawn being cut perfectly, or their faucets working correctly, or whatever that trade is. So I think Marcus, that you have an unbelievable grasp on what customer service is really about. So how does customer service translate into your household with your kids? Like, how do you give to them the same type of effort and information that you give to your clients?
Man, that's a good question, but I'll tell you, I have an answer for that. I'm very personable, right? I love talking to people. I can be in a crowd of complete strangers and talk to you like I've known you my whole life. Very outgoing, and I'm a good conversation starter, right? I get that from my mom. My mom has been in customer service probably my whole life. She was a manager for a phone company for as long as I can remember. You know, my mom's job, being really young, my mom had to work long hours. She would just leave me home and stuff. She'd take me to work. And I'd sit there and watch my mom when she talks to people, and how friendly she is, how easy it is for her to breathe and talk and make people feel comfortable. I almost call myself a trade chameleon. I'm a natural chameleon in general. I can get comfortable and I can make you feel comfortable. And it's not a gimmick. That's my true personality. I don't do that as a show. Like things that that I say and you see in me. This is just my natural. This is just my natural personality. My wife is the same way. So because of that, my wife is very easy to talk to anybody. We go on these cruises, like you said. We can be in the jacuzzi having a beer, and there's 12 people in there, and no one's talking to each other. Everyone's quiet in their own way. All right, the random guy. Hey man, where you guys from? Oh, Tennessee. We love Tennessee. I can talk to anybody, and because of that, the way that translates at home for me, Brendan, is I'm the same way with my kids. I find myself on being the fun guy. When I come home, I immediately, all right, girls, let's go outside. Let's go to the park. Let's go play. What are we gonna do? That's why it's a very good feeling to be that fun dad. But there is a fine line of being fun and also having discipline in my household. My kids know that I'm very stern. I'm very big on teaching respect, manners, things like that. But I do it in a fun way. I'm not that dad that's choose your mouth closed. No, more like, hey, you little cow, we're going to see all your food. It's all about the approach. Children at the end of the day, every day, they're learning.
That's exactly right.
Every little moment is a learning and a teaching moment, and I use my natural personality to teach my kids to be the same way.
Man, that's actually fantastic. Oh, by the way, I ate many of your crackers and your cheese. But
oh my gosh, I left those on the desk, and I was like, man, I bet.
I did. I ate many of them.
Well, no, I didn't want to go to waste. That's funny. I open a beer. I was like, man, you know what? I don't have my chips and crackers. I thought about that. I offered them to you. I told you to stop being a pansy and eat them, and you did that. I definitely appreciate it.
No, and they were delicious, man. I actually used to buy. I used to go to Publix, so I still go to Publix. But when I went to Publix, I used to buy the sopressata, which is a nice sausage, and it is fantastic. And I would use that with a nice like a bagel chip or something like that, or a very fine cracker. And then I use like a pepper jack cheese, man. I love cheese and crackers. It's one of my favorite go-to snacks, and it goes really good with beer.
Well, I'll tell you that I bought those for a meeting that I was going to have with some other people in the office. I brought it in, I sat it on the desk. I thought everyone was going to dive in. Nobody did. It was a tense environment. Everyone's in there talking, and I'm just sitting there munching.
So Marcus, the reality is you brought cheese and crackers to a breakfast meeting.
Right.
You weren't really planning well.
No. You know what? It's a gas station. $10 for the gas station.
That was the best gas station crackers and cheese I've had ever. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, well, I will never buy sushi from a gas station, but I guess cheese and crackers definitely hits the spot. So hey, listen, one of the things that we like to do on this podcast is not just to talk about entrepreneurship, because we have a lot of fatherhood and entrepreneurship, but we have a lot of listeners that are trying to get into a business that they love, but they're just afraid to do it because there's a lack of balance in their life, right? So you have a full-time career, you have a TikTok presence, and then you have a family. How do you balance all of that?
Man, I'll be honest. It's natural for me, and I don't know how to say that without sounding boastful, but I'm very good at that. I don't get easily overwhelmed. I come to work, I do my job, whether it be in the office, whether it be in the field. I go home, I always make sure I leave enough gas for my family. It's very easy to go to work, wear yourself out, come home, just want to bury yourself in bed, go to sleep. But I understand how important it is to, be a positive presence for my children and my wife. My wife's home with my kids all day, so by the time I get home, her hair is frizzy. She's got a beer in her hand, and she's ready to hand them over to me. And naturally, it's very easy for me to want to grab hold of them and blow, have fun. Like I said, I do pride myself on being a fun dad. I want to continue to be that.
So the balancing act is something that you find to be not a challenge at all, and that's because you enjoy your family, right?
I enjoy my family, and not only that, man. It's I'm beyond blessed Like I sit back and I think about, a lot of times we don't realize that where we are today, we prayed that we would be there at one point. And it's natural for, a human being to always want more, which is good. I saw a post on Facebook the other day that said, don't live the same year 75 times in a row and call it a life.
Wow.
It's natural that we always want to elevate and we always want to move forward, but we also have to stop and realize that the moment we're in right now is precious, and there was a time that we didn't have it. And I get very caught up and always want to do more and more and more, but I don't forget to stop and realize I'm very grateful for where I am today. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a manager, I'm a friend, I'm all these different things, and it's not difficult for me to juggle them all because I'm passionate about it. I love my job, I love my trade, I love my kids, I love my wife, and if anything you love, it's going to be natural for you to be fully engaged.
Yeah, I love beer.
Right, me too. Here I am driving on I-75 with a bottle of water.
Listen, you drink that water, you be safe. I was on I-75 today too. I had 4 hours in on the vehicle there and back just for an hour-and-a-half meeting at a college, but it was actually a really good meeting. But anyways, hey, listen, man, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing some truth about who you are as a father, who you are as a business person, and who you are as a viral star on TikTok. And everybody who's watching the show, listen, AC Guy 91 on TikTok. Make sure you follow him. And listen, even if you're not in the AC industry, we all love a good, cool house. And there are some amazing videos for you to watch when you start running into issues, whether they're early onset issues or really, really devastating ones, like there's fire outside and I don't know what to do. From that standpoint, you can always reach out to him on his TikTok. And I really wanted to say thank you to Marcus for joining me today. Thank you, man, for being a good friend, being a good dad, and being a good guest host today on Two Dads Having a Beer. I am going to finish your Honey Bee Citrus Blonde Ale. I want to also thank First Magnitude for providing me with this delicious drink ×2 because my guest wasn't able to have it. And thank you guys again. Hey, Marcus, you have a wonderful drive. We'll see you soon. And everybody out there watching Two Dads Having a Beer, don't forget to follow us on all of our Instagram and all of our TikTok and on all of our YouTube channels, because we have some amazing things happening for you to watch in the future. We'll talk to you later. Peace. I'm out. Say goodbye, Marcus.
All right, Brandon. Super happy to have you, man. Definitely looking forward to doing this again.
All right, man. See ya.